in receptions. Get this. You see this stupid number right here? Hurts' passing ratings are historic. That fucking is terribly awful. This guy's wrong. Your passing offense is the 4th worst in football. One of the most anticipated weeks in football is Eagle Cowboy Week. How you doing, everyone? We welcome you aboard to what should be another great battle royale. We will have that battle royale for you at 4:30. The legendary Philly 500. Mark Holmes with a great night of football on Monday night with Dak Prescott. Dak is back. Holy cow. This is going to be a good football game. In my opinion, this weekend, Cowboys and Eagles, baby. Absolutely. That week, to me, I don't know, man. It's got a college rivalry feel to it, right? It's got a college rivalry. Hey, by the way, first 15 minutes, do me a favor. Please hit that like button. Super chats go right to the top. And we appreciate all of you coming aboard here. Xander will join us at 3:30 in his normal spot. Also, hey, I got a great guest for you guys coming up. Okay? Tell me what you think of this. So tomorrow, she was at 97.5, The Fanatic. Haley Taylor Simon is going to be with us tomorrow. So listen here, Leon. I want you to try to control yourself because we're going to bring a broadcaster on, and we got to get a little diversity here. We bring Joy Taylor on. We bring as many people. We bring Christine Brennan on. So try to control yourself. I'm working on Kay Adams. By the way, Kay's not who you think. She'll give it back to you, too. I like Kay Adams. Kay's good people, man. So we will definitely we're looking always for new people that could bring a lot to the table. So, again, please hit that like button. We appreciate our supers here like Kyle. Don't be surprised if Howie Roseman hedges his bets and drafts a quarterback in the top 3 rounds. The kid from OU looks good. All right? I'm not going to start there with Jalen Hurts yet, Kyle. I'm going to start with A.J. Brown. So let's start here with A.J. Brown, okay? I want to read some numbers to you guys, and you tell me if this is a product of the quarterback, the offensive coordinator, the head coach, all of the above, okay? Targets, A.J. Brown is 35th with 65. Catches, he's 45th with 38. Yards, he's 46th with 457 yards. Has A.J. Brown lost a step, or is it the quarterback? Is it injuries? Because I'm going to tell you something here. Lane Johnson's not the same. Barkley's not the same. We're going to talk about Barkley, too, in a minute. And the quarterback stinks at throwing the football. Let's start with A.J. first. Has A.J. Brown lost a step? Is he no longer the player that we saw a couple years ago? Yes or no? Is he the player? Okay. Big Sills. AJ's washed. Wow. Okay. Jalen has seen him open and refused to throw to AJ. So you think it's the quarterback. Okay. Who else? AJ ass getting clamped up, and the other player said they will show his ass. Okay. I mean, watching AJ strut across the middle of the field wide open, don't think he's lost a step. The quarterback and the scheme suck. Okay? It's the back shoulder fades that go out of bounds in the end zone. Well, the quarterback's not accurate. So is the quarterback, is Devontae Smith playing well? Is anybody in the passing game playing well? Goddard's having probably the best year of anybody, right? A.J. Brown has no separation one bit. I think that's fair. I've seen that. I love Jalen, but I love Jalen, by the way, but man, he's been bad the last 2 weeks. Okay? Devontae, a good season. Yeah, but bro, you're paying $51 million, not for these guys to have a good season. You're paying these guys top-end money. Okay? Get this. I'm going to get to Jalen. Jalen haters. These people are fucking obnoxious. These glazed donut, dick riding, Jalen Hurts writers are obnoxious. There's more than just 2 games with Jalen Hurts. You know what? Let me go here. It's 27 ball games that your passing game has blown out loud. 27. It's not 2. It's 27. Last year, you were 29. This year, you're 27. It's 27 ball games. 17 a year ago and 10 this year. This is 27 ball games. And the passing game has affected everybody. AJ, Hurts, the way it's approached, the players are now getting hurt. Devontae is not a top 10 wide receiver. He is not. Dude, that stat that Coach gave you yesterday, Coach Brown gave you the stat of Davante Adams, which is insane. He's not even in the top 10 in targets, and he's leading the NFL. In receptions, get this. You see this stupid number right here? Hurts' passing ratings are historic. That fucking is terribly awful. This guy's wrong. Your passing offense is the 4th worst in football. Explain that. Explain it. Your receivers, one of them, who you're paying the most to, is having a historically bad year. Get this. This guy will tell you, Hurts is on a historic high in passer ratings. And yet the receiver is having an historic year in his career the other way. And it's having a bad year. The offense is bad and AJ is bad. But the quarterback is having a great year? Where? Where are you getting that from? I want to first start with Brown. I don't think A.J. Brown's washed. I think it's the quarterback. I don't believe he's washed. You don't go from playing the way you did in a matter of 15 months. He's finished. It's stupid to think that. It's the shitty quarterback. And I say that with respect, with everything else he does great. Passing, he's terrible. This has followed him, as we said yesterday, from Alabama to today. It's the quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles drafted a wide receiver in the 1st round. I think, listen, you got 2 issues that you got to deal with here. Who do you think is more washed? Lane Johnson? Father Time has caught his ass. I agree. A.J. Brown's not even 30 yet. He's washed. Dude, it's the shitty quarterbacking. It's terrible. 27 ball games, guys. This is not 2 weeks. You can't explain that away to me. Okay, we're going to get to Barkley here in a minute, too. Okay, we'll get to Barkley. You tell me, okay? You tell me, shitty offense. Offense tired from last year. Now, that could be too. I'll give you some of that. Absolutely. Hurts benders don't want to hear the truth. Dude, I mean, A.J. Brown is not washed. And get this. So you got a bunch of people now in Philadelphia that are going to cover for the quarterback by saying Brown. And Ross Tucker saying that A.J. doesn't look the same. A.J. doesn't look the same because the offense is terrible. The passing game has regressed. I told everyone this last year. Kellen Moore did more harm to Jalen Hurts as a quarterback than any coordinator he's ever had. Because you know why? They just gave up passing. Remember that notion? And I don't blame Xander for this take because it's easy to fall on this. Remember what he said? Hey, they didn't have to throw the ball because they had an iconic running game. You're lucky they ran the ball because you had no passing game even a year ago. Because that's played out now. You couldn't throw the ball. What turned out to be true, what we said, after the fourth game, remember what I said? Do you think that Saquon Barkley has changed the philosophical approach on how they're going to win games? Everybody glazed over that. I brought that up right after that Buck game, and all of a sudden, the game after they started winning games running the ball. I said, this has changed the philosophy and how they're going to win. And it did. 3-4 weeks, a month after that bye, they never have gone back to it. Listen, Prince, not all Hurts. No. I think they're coaching him wrong. Hey, Prince, not all Hurts. No. I think they're coaching him wrong. I think their arrogance and their ego believed like they thought they knew how to handle Carson Wentz. They couldn't coach Carson Wentz right. They didn't know how to coach Carson Wentz. He fell apart too. You're starting to watch it unravel by not hiring the proper coaches for these quarterbacks. Tom Brady says it great. Every single time you want to rank quarterbacks, how about ranking the fucking OCs? Kevin Patullo is one of the... Hey, do you think... Where would you rank Kevin Patullo as a coordinator? Let's say this. Your passing offense is 28th. Do you think it's any coincidence that Kevin Patullo is probably the 28th best OC in football? Don't you think that? The job of a quarterback is to pass the ball. I don't give a shit if he does everything else right. He is slowly killing this team. How we expect Hurts to be a better passer with consistent changes in the OC. And get this, and I agree. How about this? Kevin Patullo, do you think there's any coincidence that you would probably rank him right now? That you would rank him in the bottom 5? Well, the passing offense is in the bottom 5. Last year, you had Barkley to cover the passing game. You had Saquon Barkley to cover the passing game's inability to move the sticks. So what do? Get this, guys. Here's what the Eagles do. They go out and they hire a guy who's never called plays. You know, I had Brad Johnson on today on my Tampa show, and I asked him this exact question. How much do you think that hurts people like Jalen Hurts, having multiple coordinators and ways of how the coordinator approaches a book? Like, how many people do this? You can read a book, and 3 different people have different ways of what they took out of that book. You know what Brad said? I go, Brad, what about it? He goes, even if there's guys in the buildings, you're going to have a different way of protecting. You're going to have a different terminology on how you want to run, how you want to fan block. Just different things. Every coordinator has a different thing. And just because he was in the same room, You want to add some twists and you want to do some different things that the previous coordinator did to separate yourself to try to evolve the offense. Well, they haven't evolved it. They've actually regressed it. So Brad's like, yeah, it's a challenge. Having multiple coordinators and having coordinators that are inexperienced, how in the world does that help him? I think they've ruined the kid. I mean, listen, to dig him out of this hole, I don't know. Sills, that's my issue. One day it Hurts, next day it's KP, next day it's Nick, tomorrow it's AJ, next week it's Barkley. I just want answers, man. What the fuck? I'm with you, Marsh. It's because, you know why? They're all over the place on offense right now. Hey, Marsh, that's Nick Sirianni's responsibility to keep everything in focus. You guys keep telling me that's his job. Sirianni's not doing his job. Like you said, you see Marsh's super chat? That's a head coach's responsibility. Keep the coordinator in line, quarterback in line, the personnel in line. And if he has to, he's got to directly be accountable to the general manager. He's doing none of this. This is 23 mentality. You just got better players and you got better coaches on D. Hey, by the way, this is 2023 all over again, but the difference is this. You've got spectacular coaches on defense at every level. Bobby King, Christian Parker, Clint Hurt, and, of course, Vic Fangio. They're not allowing it to go to 2023. Do you understand what's happened here? Marsh, you're right. It's AJ. It's coordinator. It's the head coach. It Hurts. This is the same shit you did in 23. But the difference is your defensive coaches are spectacular. And they're not going to allow it. And that's how they're winning games. They're winning games because you're exceptional. You are exceptional on defense. Exceptional. Do you think Jalen is feeling himself after getting in the ring? Has his ego outgrown his play? I'm asking after learning about the locker room drama. Devin, I don't think that guy comes off like that to me, that he's that guy where all of a sudden he just turns into an asshole. I just think he's a weird dude. Okay? I think he's a weird dude. I think he's a weird dude that likes to win, that is going along with Nick and what Nick wants. Hey, remember something. If he goes along with Nick, he doesn't have to do anything exceptional in the passing. He's not exceptional. Hey, listen. There have been numerous quarterbacks that have won in this league that haven't been exceptional. Troy Aikman wasn't exceptional. Troy Aikman was a good player. He wasn't exceptional. He wasn't the quarterback of his generation. Guy with 3 Super Bowls is not the quarterback of your generation? Ask yourself that. Do you really think that Troy Aikman was the quarterback of his generation? Absolutely not. But he won 3 rings. I've never seen a guy with 3 rings never called the generational quarterback because he wasn't. He wasn't. Do you think Jalen? Yeah, no. Let me go to Prince here. Sills, they never fixed the problem like you said. We moved on from last year when we struggled, but you didn't fix it in the offseason. That's right, the passing game. They didn't hire a guy for Jalen. They hired a guy for Nick. Nick's a passing guy. They're fucking passing and they're terrible. They kept the same philosophy thinking it would carry over. Right. They were going to run the ball out of play action. And guess what? When they found out that Barkley fell on his face, the philosophy's falling on its face. You're winning games right now because your defensive coaches are exceptional. The general manager is exceptional. The offense, you got, get this. You have exceptional. You have exceptional talent on offense. all up and down the line. Just great offensive talent. Okay? And you have horrible coaching. The guy who's being exposed is Nick. It's not Jalen. It's Nick. You're right. Hey, Marsh, Hurts, KP, AJ. I mean, that's the coach's responsibility to fix this shit. And he hasn't. And because he has no balls to go to Howie on hires, Howie, we needed to get a RPO coach in here. We didn't need to pass. That's a philosophy mistake. You hired a passing coach who dealt with Phillip Rivers in Indianapolis, and you thought you would apply that to Hurts? What metric made you say that? So when I say Jalen Hurts sucks in this system. Hurts in a different way of being coached, like with Shane, he's probably exceptional. We'll never know now. It's almost getting to the tipping point where it's too late. And you're not winning a Super Bowl with this fucked up offense. You know what solved all this? A play calling head coach. That's correct. All the bullshit that people say about Sean McVay. Sean McVay is the second youngest coach in the league. You want to hear when John takes a shit on Sean McVay? He's younger than fucking Nick. And he's been in the league 9 years. He's still learning how to be a head coach too. And he's got 4 division titles, 2 NFC titles, and a Super Bowl to boot. And he's younger than Nick. Think about that. He's younger than Nick. This guy got the job at 31. 31. Sirianni was at some stupid junior college or some shit when this guy got his first head coaching job with the Rams. Nick was coaching some triple option guy at Fork Union or something, wherever the fuck he came from. Sills, here's my problem. Yes, it's Jalen, but where is the create? Absolutely. They can't put a proper coach around the kid. I completely agree. Running into struggling in the run game, absolutely. Sills, keep an eye on this coach next year. Ronald Curry. He's a QB coach for Josh Allen. That's a great find, and that's exceptional. I know who Ronald Curry is. I know that. I know who that guy is. You wouldn't have to worry about an OC. Absolutely, you're correct. That's why these built-in guys like Matt LaFleur and, dude, Dan Campbell's going to cost the Lions. He's too fucking aggressive. You need to have patience, too. You need to have in-game situational play calling. The Eagles have none of that. It's cookie cutter right now. Dude, your head coach has no pulse on your team right now. Guess what? He danced around the question when they asked him today about Kevin Patullo and how you evaluate him. Oh, he's got to work on this. He's got to do this. He's doing that. He never just went like this. Yeah, we got to get better. Nick can't answer straight questions. You know why? Because he's being coached. How many times do you listen to a coach when you're asking him a question, he just goes like this, we got to play better. Instead, when you listen to Nick, it's because that fucking guy Bob Lang coaches him up, and he goes into some word salad diatribe. No, and I'm like, fuck, answer the question, guy. You have absolutely no fucking power and how you do things. There's no clarity. Marsh, that's your super chat, Marsh. There's just no clarity. You have zero clarity in how you do things. Zero. You know what? You know what's happening right now, folks? Over on my X account, we're exposing Hurts KP, and everyone's getting upset with me. Everyone is upset. You know why? They're now in protection mode. Who gives a shit about Jalen Hurts? Isn't this about winning a Super Bowl in Santa Clara? It's hard to admit the team is the issue. AJ has lost his step. Barkley's tired. Jalen isn't throwing anything risky. Correct. We have the best and we have the most intelligent people that watch this team on our program and on Birds in the entire city of Philadelphia. The rest of them are in racial mode. They're protecting Hurts because he's black, instead of looking at it being a Green Eagle fan. Unfortunately, folks, you can't do that like you can in politics. In sports, there's no color. You're good or you're bad. Plain and simple. But because we live in a society that we divide like that, you're automatically going to go and divide it into racial things. This has got nothing to do with any of that except for this. For 27 games, your fucking passing offense is 27th. There's nothing with color on that. It's everything to do with production. Stop acting like Ryan Clark. I've got about right now on my Twitter feed, my X account feed, I've got about 75 Ryan Clarks that are doing Jalen Hurts a disservice by defending him because he's black. That's not what we're doing here. There's a lot more things to defend him for. His record, his tenacity. Start there. That makes more sense than this other stuff. Get out of that room. It makes no sense to me. But you see, the beautiful thing about sports, this is about fucking scoreboard. You can't move the scoreboard in sports. And you can land on so many good things with Jalen. But the people over on my X account right now, you know what they're landing on? They're landing on race. That's why we win the argument. It's got nothing to do with that. It's actually pathetic. You're defending the guy because he's black? How about defending the guy over his record? Try that. That makes more sense. Have some common sense about yourself. Jalen Hurts doesn't need to have that conversation. It belittles the guy. It lowers the room in intelligence. I've never seen so many lowbrow thinking human beings when it comes to conversations like this. But like I said, in sports, you can't hide behind anything because there is a scoreboard. A complete scoreboard. You're throwing race into it. Fucking dumb. You lose the argument every day when you start there. 27 games to me is more than just a sample size. It's who you are. You're never going to be a passing team in the history of Jalen Hurts' career in Philadelphia. Wide receivers are useless in your offense right now. They're useless. The quarterback doesn't want to throw the ball. The head coach doesn't want to throw the ball. They're winning by getting about 135 yards a game rushing, not turning it over, and playing lights out defense. And they're going to stick to that formula. So get used to this. You're going to play the worst looking football of any team in the NFL. And get this, folks, it may result one day in you winning again. I don't believe it. I just don't. I absolutely don't. Howard Sills, a play calling head coach is good, but You'll have to remove the lucky horseshoe from Nikki's rear end. Yes. Okay. Do you ever listen to yourself? You come off like a racist because it's what you say. I come off like a racist to you. It's because I think what's ever on my mind. And if it comes off that way to you, son, you're the only one with shades on, not me. And I don't really care how you fucking hear it. I've never cared and I never will. You fucking hear it that way, that's a you thing. If you think that, that's a you thing, guy. You ever think about how you ask people questions? I laugh at people like you now. I don't hide under my desk anymore. I don't have to. I'm good. I'm doing my job here. And get this, you're the one bringing up stupid bullshit. How many of those 27 games have we won? Shut up. Now, that's a take. Absolutely. That's a take. I don't have a problem with that. Seals, we have the defensive version of the greatest show on turf. It's remarkable on what's happening on that side of the ball. Hey, Seals, ask them people who are calling you a racist, what are they doing to improve their neighborhoods? Dick. If Seals a racist, why are you watching? Because I'm attacking their guy. That's why. And I'm calling him out because he's a horrible passer. And so they think that shit is going to frighten me from doing and not saying it. Wrong guy, bro. Actually, I go off the top rope on that bullshit more. You inspire me more. You think I'm going to sit around and let some nobody on a fucking chat room call me a racist and think that that's going to fucking bug me? Hey, stand in line, guy. You've been doing it for 40 years. I'm not going to apologize any longer. I'm done with it. It's over with. Kiss my ass, guy. And I think you're hilarious. To defend a team using race and color is low. The offense is shit. Why is it so hard to accept? Because they can't. They can't. It's impossible. You have to go. If you hate Hurts, it's racist. And if you don't like his style, it's racist. I'm telling you the way it is, finally. I'm not going to sit around and beat around the bush. You know why everybody beats around the bush on the radio and all these shows? Because they don't want to tell you what it is. If you say something negative about Hurts, and if you're white, you're automatically a racist. Instead of just pointing out the inefficiencies. There's so many good things about the kid, too. You don't want to go there. That's why we're going to have real talk today. We're going to have real talk. I don't give a shit what side of the aisle you're on. Horrible passers a stretch. I don't know. Your offense is 27th for 27 games. You tell me. Okay? Okay, here. Why attack him? The coach's job is to develop. That's a take. Yes. I just got through telling you, kid. The coaches are failing him too. The passing offense is 27th. It's a collective thing. He's limited as a skilled guy. They haven't developed Jalen Hurts since Brian Johnson left. Brian Johnson was a better coordinator than Kellen Moore and Kevin Patullo. Do you agree with that? Fuck, the offense was 8th. I'll live with the turnovers if you're trying to develop the quarterback. Okay? I mean, Sills is a racist. I'm here to keep an eye on him. Watch your mouth, Sills. Oh, good job, Prince. Made me laugh. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. We are running Pee-wee routes. I could probably design better routes, and I'm a dumbass. Hey, me too, Pat. Me too. Jalen's guy was Brian Johnson. The pass offense looked way better than Patullo's in 23. Okay? Who was Nick's guy? Z even said it. The scapegoat Brian to cover for Nick. This is Nick. Oh, absolutely. This is Nick's responsibility. It absolutely is. Okay? Oh, don't worry. Hey, Prince. Hey, listen. These little dweeb, like so-called cancer culture people, dude, you know Boxer Rocks. Give a shit about some dude named, what's his name? Fucking Brunson Burner? What the fuck's the guy's name? We had him on for a little bit. I thought he was pretty good. And then he turned into something, I don't know. I don't really care, really. Seriously. I could care less. Guys hit by a bus, I could care less. I really don't. I'm not that guy, dude. I really don't. All our coaches on offense side of the ball are new coaches or inexperienced coaches at their respective coaching positions. Completely true. Absolutely, man. So A.J. Brown, in my opinion, I think A.J.'s a product of all the shit that's going on. Quarterback's in the wrong system, trying to get him the ball. The quarterback's not a progression reader. They got him in some sort of stupid pass offense now. They got Jalen Hurts under center. Okay. He had a great game against the Giants. Wow, wonderful. Awesome. Okay? Bro was angry as shit crying about Hurts. Who? Crying? I'm telling you, your offense sucks. You think that's crying, pointing out facts? Then you take it as crying. People call people racist because they don't. That's right. I mean, that's why it's kind of lowbrow stuff for me right now. I really don't care. I honestly, I mean, I probably shouldn't even responded a couple times on my. I could care less. Seriously, man, I have zero interest in that. It's so old news. Seals, I don't believe that you could develop Hurts past where you. No, this is his ceiling. Jalen Hurts has no ceiling. So how do you get him better? Hire good people around him? Get a better guy? I don't think it's that hard. Find a guy in college if you have to. Hire Bill O'Brien. Do something that knows how to coach RPOs. Do something like that. Why are they not hiring the right coaches for him? I brought this up a month ago. Okay? A month ago. Why are they not hiring offensive coordinators that fit Jalen's skill set? Okay? Why? Let's see. The sad thing is Nick and Kevin Patullo in their press conferences both saying the offense is fine. I heard that. The offense is fine. It's the fourth worst offense, thank you, Marsh, in pro football. Okay? You shouldn't have dude as a creep. I've never seen a Super Bowl MVP get treated with such disrespect. Wait a minute. What do you mean? By me or by the head coach and the organization by not hiring quality people around him? I'm confused. Is it about the criticism I have about the passing game? Or is it more about the criticism that the coaching staff and the organization didn't do right by Jalen by hiring the right people for him? Okay? Okay. Philly. Yes. Now we're in sports talk. You're never going to get banned, dude. Not here. You couldn't ever. Hey, Philly, you're the kind of guy that I want on my show. You know why? Because I'll turn you. I'll turn you. You know why? Because I'll let you speak. They weren't going to let you speak in any of them other shows. And you may disagree with me 99% of the time. But you'll never get shut out here. And you don't get censored here. I mean, look, a long time to come around, but man, there's no way the coaching staff are totally inept. Has to be the quarterback. The quarterback and the coaches are not the right fit. Do you understand that? They're not the right fit. Who would you hire for Hurts? Okay? Cliff Kingsbury? Joe Brady? Lane Kiffin? Anybody that knows how to run an RPO? Shane Steichen? Pick one. I love Sirianni. He's perfect for Philly, bud. This is the disadvantage of a CEO coach who can't call plays. Every time you get a good OC, they get swiped up. Absolutely true. Sills, the right coach and the right system will put the organization past decisions in a negative light and put Hurts' longevity at risk. Listen here, I asked you this question about 2 years ago, and I'll ask it again. If Jalen Hurts plays 10 years in the NFL and brings you 4 Super Bowls, and he gets blown out and hurts his knee in year 12, was it worth it? Fuck yeah. Carson Wentz was worth it. Carson Wentz was worth it. Even how it ended. RPO coaches is what we need. Yet we have a guy for McKee when you say passing game. Sills, there's narrow-minded idiots automatically think you're blaming. I'm not just blaming the quarterback. The quarterback is horrible right now because he's in a poor system. It would be like, get this, guys. Here's the deal. It's not all Jalen here. That would be like putting Joe Burrow in an RPO offense. How do you think Joe Burrow would do? He barely gets through a drop-back offense. What do you think Stafford would do in this offense? He would look terrible. But they wouldn't run that offense. Hey, let me ask you this. Do you think if Matthew Stafford was the Eagles quarterback, you'd be running this offense, or would it be completely different? Do you think it would be completely different if Matthew Stafford was the quarterback of this offense? Would it be completely different if Stafford was your quarterback? They would change the entire offense for him. But you know what they're doing now? They're trying to have a passing offense with an RPO quarterback. The thing makes no sense. It just makes no sense. It really doesn't. There's no sense to it. So again, end of the day, this is what you got. Like putting a Ferrari on a go-kart track. You know what I do dig is that what's clearly happening here. People are getting upset because they're attacking Hurts. And people are assuming that Hurts is the main issue. He's not the main issue. He's just limited. You can't go to 2022 anymore. That's 3 fucking years ago. That's a lifetime in the NFL. Do the Eagles fail quarterbacks in Philly? Yeah, last 2 you have. Hey, let me ask you something. So you paid a guy $38 million and then you fired him. You're paying a guy $50 million, and he's got the fourth worst passing offense in football. You tell me. But we're winning. You ain't winning because of that offense. You won a Super Bowl last year because why? Hurts played great in the Super Bowl. But Barkley carried the mail all year. And your defense was spectacular. Hurts occasionally has to be good. Too great. The 2 Super Bowl games, fabulous games. I couldn't name you a game in the last 2 years where he played. And those were the 2 most important, and I'm not dismissing those. I am not dismissing it. It's important to play great. Hey, by the way, that's a strength and an intangible he has. Playing good in big moments. You can't coach that. There's no question. That's an innate thing that you have. He has that, and I agree with that. But on a consistent basis, he's not going to go out there and carry a football team on his back. He's incapable of doing that because he doesn't have the skill set for it. Hey, use your eyeball test. Sills, what I don't get is the RPO is the easiest offense to run. Yeah, you got to have a great athlete to run that thing, though. Why doesn't Hurts grab Smitty, Barkley, and Brown and say, fuck the coaches and run the RPO in the huddle? You know, well, that's what's kind of being reported now that they're doing. That Hurts is getting, and everybody's upset because Hurts doesn't, I think what's going on is this. The offensive players want to have a more open offense. Hurts and Nick don't. Those guys don't want to do it because it's not – that would result in more losing football. Hey, listen, I heard John McMullen say, if you put a truth serum to the offensive coaches, would they rather have Herbert or Hurts? They'd rather have Herbert. You know why? Why do you think that Nick and Kevin Patullo would rather have Justin Herbert as their quarterback? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody know why? Nick and Kevin Patullo. Anybody that Kevin Patullo and Nick would rather have. There you go, Kyle. It's their style of quarterback. It's easier to coach. Funny. Play style. That's right. It's easier to coach. Nick Sirianni has no idea about an RPO coach, and that's why they don't run the RPOs. When Shane left, he took the playbook with him. Do you realize that? When Shane left, he took the playbook. It's not the point. They'd rather coach Phillip Rivers than Jalen. You're missing the fucking point, guy. You know why you're missing the point? Because they're trying to coach him like Herbert. They're trying to coach him like Rivers. He missed the point completely. He's one of those guys that again, thinks that we're sitting here talking, this ain't personal, man. I don't give 2 shits about Jalen Hurts. I could care less about him. I could care less about the guy. If the Eagles want to know what a real coach looks like, just look at the defense. They're happy. They're playing their asses off for Vic. Completely true. Get this. Dumb take, of course, because you know why? Nick Sirianni is not an RPO coach. He's never coached an RPO quarterback in his entire fucking life. And every time that they don't have an RPO guy in the building, like Shane, it's been a train wreck for Hurts. Turnovers and bad offense. And they've tried to throw the football. And every time they try to throw the football with no RPO guy in there, Jalen Hurts is 28th. His offenses are 28th. Dumb take? How about this, M. Reyes? That's reality. Reality is your offense is the worst, 4th worst in pro football. For almost 30 games, they've been the worst. He can't dispute that. 30 games. That's like 2 fucking seasons. It's not going to get better. Like 2 seasons of the worst passing offense in football. 2 seasons. You ain't good enough to win it this year. Your defense is. Your defense, hey, look, 2 defenses that are getting better and better and better and better and better and better and better every single week is Chris Shula's team and Vic Fangio's defense. Chris Shula's Rams are getting better every week. He's going to be a candidate to be a head coach. The job he's doing with the Rams. That defense is getting better and better and better every week. They're great in red zone. They're great on third down. They're great in points allowed. They've got a front four that's fucking killing it. Chris Shula is going to get a head coaching job. If Shane took the playbook and Hurts is elite in the playbook, then Nick didn't stay with that playbook to have his quarterback excel. How isn't that coaching? What are you talking? That's negative coaching. When they took the fucking playbook to Indianapolis and you want him to throw the ball, that's bad coaching. Okay? Sills is cooking today. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback and can be great when the system is designed for his style. He's capable of making huge plays off script, running and pretty deep ball off of play fakes. Yes. All of that true. Yes. I'd run more off script shit, wouldn't you? If the guy excels at off script shit, run it. Is it that fucking hard? Think of that. Run more off scheduled stuff. He was great on off scheduled in 22. That shit was off schedule. When he had to take off running, that's off scheduled stuff. I mean, dude, if you know a guy's a great boxer, you're going to try to knock him out right away. And if you know a guy's got a great haymaker, you're going to try to avoid it. You're not going to run into it. Seals, if you're correct and the system would change to fit Stafford or Burrow's skills, it makes it even worse. Why not change for Hurts' skills? That's what I'm saying. It's ego. Bro, that's what I'm saying. They are off in like La La Land. Now you got Hurts under center. How's that going to help him? How is that helping him? You need to go up tempo with him. Off scheduled shit. RPOs. Go back to that. Nope. They don't do any of that. They don't do any of that. I'm convinced if Jalen Hurts was in Indianapolis this year, he'd be an MVP. He'd be an MVP. I'm completely convinced of it. He'd be an MVP. Completely. Got him in a pass offense. He's not a passer. Well, for 27 games, you're 28th. Hello. Listen, I want to make this very clear to you. This is not 2 games. This is almost 30 games. And you're still in the same place. The difference, Barkley's not who he is. And I'm going to get to him next. Okay? A.J. Brown's not lost a step. A.J.'s in some sort of, like nebulous or something right now where he's caught in between. They want to run. Do they want to throw? Do they want to run? Do they want to throw? Do they want to run? Do they want to throw? 27 games. Your offense is dog shit throwing the ball. Almost 30 games. You know what you're going to do? You're going to look back on this with your one Super Bowl win, and you're going to regret that you didn't take more advantage. You're not winning it with that offense. A year ago, you had a superstar Barkley. You ain't got one star on that team. There's nobody playing well on offense. Nobody. Maybe Goddard. There's not one guy playing well on offense. Maybe Smitty and Goddard. Maybe. Smitty's the numbers that Smitty has are common in today's NFL. I'm sure Lombardi will. Yeah, okay. Again, if I want cheerleader conversations, I'll turn on WIP. This is why we don't go to MRAS any longer. It's just cheerleading. I can't have sports talk with cheerleaders. The best team in football has the worst offense in football. Is the defense that good? The best team in football has the worst offense in football. Is the defense that good? I think your offensive players are exceptional. They're just having bad years, and you're doing enough by getting around 132 yards, 135 yards rushing, not turning the ball over, and playing defense. And that's just it. Okay? I mean, that's it. You have nothing else. Defeated? Okay, well, we'll just ignore from now on. There's two sides. He deserves a lot of credit for winning, for sure. And being clutch in big games. Absolutely true. But he deserves to be criticized when he struggles. Organization needs to get an OC that exploits his limits. I don't know why that is so hard to talk. I really, honest to God. Sills, you think part of the reason Brandon Graham was brought back was to put some of the fires out in that locker room because clearly Nick is incapable of it? And you know what? That seems to be more plausible now. We're like the Ravens in 2000s. Yeah. With Trent Dilfer. That's a great comparison. Jalen Hurts is Trent Dilfer. A little better. Yes. Yes. So, now let's do this. Let's get to Saquon Barkley and all of you Hall of Famer guys arguing with me that he's a Hall of Fame player. You might want that back. I can't tell you how many people in here we had a conversation with about Saquon Barkley being a Hall of Fame fucking talent. You got to be fucking kidding me. He's finished. He's done. I think he doesn't want to be hit. There's certain times when running backs and players don't want to be hit anymore. He don't want to be hit. Tank Bigsby has nowhere near the talent that Barkley has. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. He looks like a better player right now. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. I told you the 2,000-yard rushing season would take its toll on him. And it has. Sills, it doesn't look like he's lost his step. You know what it looks like to me he's lost? His will to keep continuing to run through the line of scrimmage. What's he waiting for? He doesn't want to get hit. Our offensive line. Okay. Offensive line, sure. How come when I watch Tank Bigsby get in there, pass protection's not a problem? Tank looks better. And he's nowhere near the talent. Shit, sometimes when Shipley's in there, he looks quicker. That guy looks fried. You're wrong about Barkley. Okay. I'm wrong about Barkley. And yet, every single fucking week, we ask the question, what's wrong with Saquon? And it's the offensive line. So let me get this right. You blame the offensive coordinator. Okay? You blame the offensive coordinator for Hurts. Now you're blaming the injuries in the O-line. Okay. So that means this, that Lane Johnson then is long in the tooth. Landon, his injuries have played too much of a factor, and he's running out of gas. Cam, mistake on the contract. You're telling me the offensive line, okay, well, let's do this. Either the offensive line is falling apart, or Barkley's falling apart, or both.